This morning I was inspired to do another video. The light sucks in here. I was commenting on Facebook posts, I think on the UFO disclosure group, one of those, and somebody asked the question, well, basically, you know how everybody has their own opinions and their own knowledge set. A lot of these truth-seeking communities are fighting amongst themselves about details that are really, really trivial. I mean, so, I want to give my perspective on this whole thing. And I wrote kind of a lengthy comment. And basically what I was getting at with that comment was that what I do in my research, I don't worry about, is this particular fact true, or I mean, I do, but not like everybody else does. I take everything with a grain of salt, so to speak. I take every bit of information, whether it's an insider telling his story or whatever it is. You got to look at it as not only a thought exercise, but just know that you're getting little bits of data, little puzzle pieces. And some of the puzzle pieces fit within the picture, but some do not. So when you're gathering data, you got to take it in and basically file it all away until you can process each data point and decide which puzzle pieces, fit within the picture and which do not. And the way I do this is I use simple logic. And I'll quickly describe what that might look like. I've read The Law of One. I don't think I've gotten all through it. It's quite extensive. Those who have read it will know. I need to read it like 3 or 4, 20 more times, basically. So I'm not a scholar or anything, but, I do have this concept that fits with all the logic that I've put to it. The Law of One basically states that this universe is a being. It's intelligent infinity. The universe is actually inside this being, so the universe really is just a construct. It's a dream world. It's a construct like on The Matrix, how they talk about that. The universe is a construct with which we can experience everything. And that experience is how we learn. We learn, we understand, we evolve. That's what it's all about. So you have one consciousness who created this construct and then split its consciousness into an infinite number of fractals. So here we have the universe, right? You got all kinds of different life forms, and you got multiple dimensions, and you also have multiple frequencies. It took me a long time to kind of understand the difference between density and dimension. And I think, at least in my mind, it's pretty clear that the difference is that density refers to the level of consciousness, which basically means that you start at level 1, first density, and you work your way up. The Law of One describes all the densities briefly, and first density is elemental, trees, earth, water, all that, planets. That's first density. Second density is animal life. Third density is us, and so on and so forth. So that's the understanding, is that densities are the level of consciousness, the level of experience. Each density level has more complex experiences. So here in our third density, we have this world. It's all mostly physical, as far as what people can understand. Right now we're in transition, so it's kind of makes this even a little bit tougher to explain. But third density really is, like the law of one says, it's a short cycle. It's to polarize and make the choice to go on the negative or the positive path. And so using logic with this whole thing makes a lot of sense. I mean, when it comes to, do UFOs exist? Do aliens exist? Well, the logic says they do. Plain and simple. If the universe has a purpose to learn from experience, then wouldn't it stand to reason that multiple dimensions and infinite numbers of life forms and all that, I mean, that makes logical sense. If a being is trying to learn through all this experience, then all the infinite possibilities serve that purpose. The more you have to play with, then the more knowledge you will gain. I mean, the logic fits.